I'm super excited to see how this unfolds, see how the rest of the season unfolds as well with the upcoming games, upcoming weeks that we have.
Yeah, me too. And so, what's up? Oh, sorry. Anyways, going back through the games that these teams have played so far, they've already played one Element. They went up against For the Fam. I'm going to be honest, I'm not super familiar with a lot of the players in that team besides Mazo, who I do know is a very good player. I've seen for quite a little bit of time as well. And they were able to beat them pretty convincingly. However, it does have to be said that Nola Flight, this is going to be the first time we're actually seeing them because they won via forfeit up against Grave 3-0. So, yeah, we're going to have the first opportunity to see Nola in action. And where are we going to be seeing them? Embassy, 3 hotels, and then a fortress. What are your thoughts on the map here, Kenji?
Average maps. I'm not surprised with the picks at all. We've seen them multiple times before. I think Nola Flight's going to pick up probably the first one, but after that, it is a total toss-up in my mind. I am not sure at all.
Well, as for me, I can't say I've seen a whole lot of either of these teams this season, but I did just see a little bit of a clip of Shoxy. He was playing the Giga Chad theme song in the background, and they were playing on Hotel Hardpoint. So, and they were up against some pretty good players as well. Shoxy was going quite off, and so, yeah, if it does go to a map 4, then I would favor them on that map just because, I don't know, Shoxy, he just posted something, and definitely feeling a little bit good on that map, but this is a completely different map than that other one. And so, yeah, I know that a lot of people up inside the Challenger scene love to play this map just because you can really punish your opponents if you catch them on the respawn over and over and over again.
For sure. And then, of course, look at our featured player here. We've got Juju, of course, on Element. We mentioned him before. He's been absolutely showing out across the board. I am excited to see him play, of course. You know, I'm still a little bit sided with Nola Flight, but I am excited to see how he turns up against them and see what he can really do.
Yep, Juju the Don, as he used to always go by. That was one of his gamer tag, and so, yeah, he got that name for a reason. He is one of the top Search and Destroy players, not just in this league, but just in general. I've seen him in quite a lot of Search and Destroys, in like a lot of the online leagues as well. They always have a distinct edge going into that mode. Him, Teski, Mirage, they don't always play together, but whenever they do, or whenever they're apart, they always do good in Search and Destroy. And so, yeah, I have quite a lot of memories of him in that aspect. But I do have to say it as well, I have some fond memories of Shoxy in the Search and Destroy as well, and I do believe he was at one point a sniper himself, going up against Juju with the sniper. I think we might have a little bit of a sniper battle in the making here, Kenji.
I would be excited to see that. I love that. That's where I came from. That's my roots, sniping Call of Duty MW2 way back in the day. So I'm excited to see what turns out here.
Yeah, and you can 1v1 me on Rust after this is all
done. Yeah. Are we taking bets on that? We're going to see how that goes?
Yeah, chat can put your bets up. You guys already bet on who's going to be winning this map number 1. At the end of the stream, make sure you guys go ahead and drop your bets on who's going to be winning in a sniping battle, me versus Kenji. But yeah, we do have a couple more maps to be going on besides Hotel and, well, not really besides Hotel, you know what I'm trying to say. But yeah, besides Hotel, Search and Destroy, we're going to be playing a lot of Hotel Control as well. So yeah, this is a mode that's been played, a map that's been played more than any other one on this mode. I feel like all the 50 plus games I've casted already, Hotel has been played in at least like 45 of them. So yeah, all these teams at this point, if that's any indication of the sample size for the rest of the teams, I'm sure that they are well and truly prepared for this map.
Absolutely. I've seen Hotel played more than I could even admit in GBs across the board. It's everybody's favorite map at this point. I'm excited to see if we do, of course, go into a map 5. I'm excited to see S&D on Fortress, of course. It's one of my personal favorite maps, but it all depends on see how this turns out.
Yeah, the thing about Search and Destroy on Fortress is that above all the other ones, in my personal opinion, it is very, very defender-sided. And so it does, when you're on the attacking side, it really forces you to get your nade spots down, your timing's good in a game like, just like in a game like CSGO, where your pathing really matters, your nade throws at specific times really matter. In previous Call of Duties, like, not necessarily like previous Call of Duties, but like the most recent Call of Duty like Vanguard, you could get away with certain things like that. Yeah, there were some nade spots, yeah, there were some timings, but you could just usually wing it, flying by the seat of your pants and get a lot of kills. Not so on this map, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be quite difficult to break the setups here, if we even get there at that point. Hotel in Search and Destroy, I would say it's not necessarily favored to one side or the other, because you can easily bypass the bed map control if you dolphin dive, get your movement down correctly. But from there, it just depends on if your opponents expect you to go in and challenge them out for bedroom or not.
Absolutely. Well, with that, with the coverage of the maps, all the players, we'd like to introduce you to our season sponsor, Grilla.
Yep, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after that. I hope you guys enjoyed Gorilla, but yeah, Kenji, what are your opinions on Gorilla? I thought their stuff looked pretty clean, not gonna lie.
It looks insanely clean. I'm definitely checking it out after this. You know, having to use a bunch of other websites, we'll say. That one looks pretty solid. I'm excited to poke around with it and see what they have in store for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we can definitely set up our 1v1 on Rust through them.
Yeah, definitely we could.
But yeah, back on topic with the players. I've already been giving you guys a little bit of an outline onto what we're going to be expecting tonight. We've got some really solid players in terms of just longevity of time play. These guys are Lanimals. They're really involved in the scene in general. High placements and challengers, solid snipers. And so, yeah, just a little bit more background on these guys. I do recall at one point, Shoxy and he used to play with a lot of different other guys, and they were a really strong set group. You really could not separate them for the entirety of the season. And so I'm curious to see if Shoxy is going to be doing the same thing with these guys here, because that's something that can really make a team grow, is just playing together a whole lot. You could get away with it in Vanguard, where you could just play with a bunch of different people, just show up on the day and play. But this is a little bit of a different Call of Duty in my experience, Kenji. You just can't show up, not practice at all, and expect to do well.
It's the chemistry. You need the chemistry built in this specific game. Vanguard, definitely you could just wing it and absolutely send it and be entirely okay. But I feel like definitely with Modern Warfare 2, with this year's Call of Duty, or this 2-year Call of Duty, chemistry is a lot more important.
Yeah, I would definitely say so it is. And so, yeah, another thing to note about Shoxy and teams that he plays with in general is that they're always really good at map 3 modes, so we'll keep that in mind as they go into Hotel. I remember back in Modern Warfare 2019, they would never lose a single domination map, even up against Juju and those guys when they were on like the unbeatable Chaotic Squad, if I remember correctly. But ladies and gentlemen, right now we are going to be on Embassy, a map where it really rewards you if you're able to get full team wipes. Namely, if you do get a full team wipe, your opponents are going to be spawning in a bunch of different spots, which makes it really hard for them to go on a counterattack on you. So that is going to be something that we're going to be on the lookout here for Stingy.
Absolutely. It's everybody's favorite game of catch the spawns. But yeah, we're jumping right into game 1 on board with Katani, just trying to get into Hill.
Yep, and Element, they're going to be gifted the spawns first just because of where they spawned at, and so, yeah, Teskey going to be looking to hold on to those for the time being, but Nola Flight, they're doing the right thing, looking to get a flank around the side as well as isolate all these players. Great shots coming out from Shoxy, tease up Mirage for another one, and they get control over the top Embassy area there as well. That's a big point of contention there. It's one that you want to hold not only to keep control over the current objective, but for the next one as well.
Countless gunfights start and end there. It's an absolute crucial point that you have to have, especially for P1. Gonna be, like I said, back on board with Mirage. He's gonna get picked off.
Yep, picked off indeed. And Nola Flight, they are looking like pretty good, but notice Teskey. He's standing at the top of those stairs. He knows his teammates are dead, and he has to hold on to this position. His teammates could very well get caught out, and look at this from Skater. He's looking to make sure that he can catch the guy spawning in the top left corner of the map. He knows that that's where someone's going to be spawning at, keeping him nice and stuck up there for the time being, but his teammates are going to start needing his help from the people spawning elsewhere.
Absolutely. Big frags from both sides. All the players kind of putting in their own work. Hill time, though, of course, going strongly in Element's favor. 30 seconds so far. Looking for spawns, trying to find anything that he can. Juju playing, snaking a little bit. Ooh, he's playing a little dirty. He's not going to get that, though. He's going to get picked off by Skater.
Yep, and that is going to be a trophy system down as well. And so, that's going to be meaning that Nola Flight, with this kill on Juju, should mean that they are going to have complete control over these last couple of seconds. Usually teams don't rotate with 20 seconds left if you're not really able to get on the objective easily, just because of how difficult it is, especially on this P3, to get strong control over. Katani is going to get a little bit taken down there. And just like I said, if you do get caught out at the end here of these objectives, then you're going to be straight out of luck. Nola Flight going instantly in for the break with 3 seconds still left on the original.
Absolutely, Nola Flight catching back up, actually picking up a lead on top of Elements. But yeah, we're going to be back on board with Mirage, trying to get a little bit of a rotate, trying to catch spawns.
Yeah, but it might be Shoxy that catches them. Look at that double headshot coming out from him. And it's not an easy thing to get control over every single avenue of attack on this objective, but damn well they're doing it. Aiden waiting patiently for Juju. He saw this door open. He's going to stun check him just to make sure he's there. Throwing another nade at him, trying to keep him nice and tagged down and away from the rest of his teammates who are doing just perfectly fine by themselves on the objective.
Absolutely. Juju going to be just playing point, trying to find where Aiden is, but not going to be able to see him. Not going to be able to spot him out. He's going to be going underneath him. Pops over Katani. Looking towards the stairs. Going to find one onto Aiden. Going to try to maybe go for 2, but nobody's going to be there. He's going to be able to clear it out.
Yep, but already on next is going to be Nola Flight. As you can see, they're going to be having a great map pressure here. Oh, great shot coming out from Skater. That just goes to show you that, yeah, go with the pistol as well as the Bazneb. You don't normally see people run pistols with the Bazneb necessarily, but I mean, I'm glad that he was in that scenario. So, in the meantime, holding down the back line, forcing their opponents to come from a main avenue of attack in the middle of the map. That's where Shoxy's at. So eventually, when he calls us out, they're going to be able to make their way in and condense on this and help him out easily. But as if he even needs help, takes down 2 by himself.
Tried to collapse on Shoxy, but it's not going to happen. Like you said, he's going to pick up 2. He's being an absolute demon today.
Yeah, demon indeed, and his teammates are as well. Looking at Aiden, he is 12-3 now. I cursed him a little bit by talking about him. And Skater had a double KD himself. Shoxy, he's not that far off, being the guy on the hill, getting in the most amount of gunfights. It's very common to see these guys dying, but even having a positive KD, playing the role that Shoxy has playing like Shoxy, but Shoxy is a really impressive feat.
Absolutely. Gonna be on board, like I said, with Skater, looking for next hill. He's trying to lock it down, keep it away from Element at any cost. Katani and Mirage gonna be pushing up close. Gonna be an interesting fight for Skater. Not gonna happen. They're gonna slide and collapse on him. But no! Prof gonna pick up 2.
Yeah, great nade coming out from Propheside, and another third one. Great baiting and switching coming out from Nola Flight. They're going to set up the trophy system to make sure the same thing does not happen to them. Juji coming around the corner, expects him to be high, but instead Prof goes low. And so, trying to go low again, but Tessie is going to be seeing him there, and so the break will be coming on in, but how long will this last?
So far, it's been a little bit of a Nola Flight sided fight. 138-64. They're just asserting dominance. Shoxy's, kind of play their entire team, honestly, looking at the KDs, just playing out of their mind, getting a lot of hill time.
I mean, yeah, they really are. Teskey gonna try and hold it down on this objective. There's always a reason to chow out at the last second for this objective, and damn well they are. Looking to get a full team wipe on everybody except for Prof, who's doing a good job holding things off, but buys enough time for his teammates to respawn, but not enough. They're still gonna be spawning in completely different areas. So now, easy transition from Element. They're gonna be able to get some great time off of P1, and gonna try and fight for the spawns on P2, but they're not gonna get that lucky there, Kenji.
All good. Gonna be holding it down, waiting for P1. It's going to be a heck of a fight. Like I said, especially after we talked about that high ground. It's absolutely crucial to get for this P1. Let's see what they can do. Juju going to pick one up onto Prof. Going to be on board still with Juju. He's not going to be able to find another.
Yep, not quite yet. And so, you see, Nola Flight, they're just content to let their opponents hop on the objective, shoot them off. As long as they're not going for the next spawns, then we got a problem. But yeah, it appears that's exactly what they're doing. They've isolated Prof, and they're going to look to surround and pound him. That's exactly what they do. Finding Aiden now as well, and so Shoxy, the only one anywhere near the next objective. You can see they're spawning completely and utterly away into the path of Mirage, who's not been having the best of times so far. Does have to be said, he's going to continue to have a bad time up against Skater and Aiden. Cruise missile now coming in from Prof. He's going to get some great intel onto where they are. But yeah, Teskey so far a little bit alone, but still holding off the time for the time being.
For sure, 145-89. Nola Flight holding down the point relatively well, especially like you mentioned, keeping them off of those spawns, making them spawn out deep. Shoxy gonna pick up one onto Mirage. They're just keeping them off this point. They're not allowing them to even get a few shots, land a few shots, not even close.
They do get a great pick on Aiden, which opens the bin map pressure there for them. You see, as soon as they have an opening, they're like, oh, let's all go through here, guys, because it's just so hard, especially after a spawn trap to get, yeah, even with that kill, they get forced back into the spawn trap. This goes to show exactly what I was saying. If you get full team wiped, you will pay up against a good team.
Absolutely. Nola Flight just picking up more and more frags. Let's see if Element can somehow collapse on this next point. Gonna be playing close angle, not gonna happen. Skater gonna pick up the kill with the pistol, but no, Teskey's got his back. Just trade after trade after trade.
Yep, and great little jump up position from Mirage. He's starting to bring it back to about a 0.5 KD. He was a lot further back than that, so maybe a little bit of a comeback coming out from him. And so, Prof not going to be able to get one either. And so, yeah, that's looking pretty good for Element. This is one of the more difficult to hold on to objectives, but they're doing a really good job of it so far. They've got one around the corner. That Skater trying to drop low, but gets his head taken off. Trades out coming left, right, and center. And so, for the time being, Element is getting some very, very much needed time.
Yes, very much needed indeed. They're doing super well, holding this point down. And yeah, Juju gonna pick it up onto Shoxy. They're finally getting those trades out, finally getting those kills out, finally getting that time on the board. 197 to 105. Nola Flight leading.
Yep, Nola Flight, speaking of them, going towards next, but as you can see, the full team wipe goes both ways if it happens to you. Teski's already going to be on the next objective, running circles around them, shooting Shoxy clean in the back, and so Skater's going to be the only one there. Aiden trying to hold the outside, looking for someone to try and challenge his angle, but unfortunately is not going to be quite as ready for it as he thinks. Shoxy coming in for round number 2 with Teski, turn around the corner, and oh, Teski going to be turning the tables on him as well as on him. And so, Element, man, they're not out of this one yet.
They're definitely not out of it at all by any means. There's 2 fantastic kills, and they've got point here. The collapse is going to be coming in from Nola Flight, though. They're going to try to get anything onto them, and that's 3. That's going to be hill time for Nola.
Yeah, it's a really great reset of the pressure. Like, you saw Element, they were wiping left, right, and center, but it's great from Nola Flight to stop that streak going into the hands of your opponents, and you're going to try and reset that in your favor. You've already got Prof looking to get some long angles on these guys, keep them nice and dead and spying towards the top side of the map so that Aiden can get an easy rotation to next alongside Skater. They're going to be challenging pretty hard for the original time here, which I don't know if they're going to get so much bang for their buck on that, especially since Tessie's going to get taken down up top, leaving Mirage the only rotating player, but alone, he's doing a pretty decent job.
Absolutely. 218, 150. Element going to be on next hill. Nola Flight trying to collapse in any way, shape, or form that they can. They've got Aiden kind of chilling backline, just seeing if he can get any frags right before they try to push in. Let's see if he can do anything. Juju going to pick up 1. It's going to be trades back and forth. 2-2 on the hill.
Oh, and Prof sees him just in time, trying to drop low with the pistol, dragging them not enough away from Mirage. And so, yeah, Element getting some very much needed time off this objective. Shotzi coming in for a break once again. And so, yeah, can't win off this objective, but they're going to get pretty dang close to it. So Element, especially since P1 is so dang close to this objective, there's absolutely a reason to keep on challenging this one out. 2 reasons, in fact.
Absolutely, that point was an absolute brutal fight back and forth. The trades going consistently. Element is slowly bringing it back KD-wise. They're definitely picking up a few more frags than they were at the beginning, and definitely picking up quite a bit more time. You know, they're closing the gap, making it a little bit closer and closer. On to the next point.
Yep, an Element, unfortunately for them, I think that they're going to need a decent amount of time off this one, but Nola Flight, they're just looking to keep control over next. Aiden, he's doing quite a lot of everything right now. You see Prof, he's already trying to challenge them for that top window area. In the meantime, trying to get a cross angle on them, and so, yeah, this is going to be a really point of contention here. Let's hop in here with Prof, as he's in the most important position for his team right now, in my personal opinion. He's getting really clamped down upon. You can just see the importance of holding onto this area, but Nola Flight making a big issue out of it. They're going to be looking to win this right here, right now, forcing their opponents to pay attention to them on the objective.
Absolutely. Time ticking down. Nola Flight picking up a little bit more. Element trying to collapse, do whatever they can to hold this hill off of them and make it a little bit more of a struggle for them to go ahead and take this W.
Oh, it's looking good for Nola Flight. They're going to get a lot of time off this one, and Katani is the only one anywhere near next. He's going to be doing a great job, though, taking down 2, but does he expect Aiden to be here on the time? Both teams can win off this objective. This could very well be the last hill of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Coming on in now, Shoxy up close and personal. Katani dropping down low and knocking him clean upside the head. Full team wipe now coming in from Element as they get control over the objective, forcing Nola Flight to the top left corner of the map. Who else is there but Mirage and Teski? This is going to be a route back to the objective beset upon on all sides for Nola Flight. It's going to be a difficult one. Great stun out, and so they will be able to take him down if they really need it, though. Skater does have a cruise missile.
Final point. This has to be the final point here. It's absolutely crucial for Nola Flight to go ahead and play as a team. They're getting a little spread out, and they're kind of just challenging on their own. They're not really playing off of each other.
Oh, but they get it.
But they are going to get it. They're going to get it anyway. That was a fantastic match. Nola Flight taking home the W there.
Yeah, so close. Honestly, I thought Element had the possibility of coming back there, and they really, really did, that full team wipe. But again, well fought out of a difficult position there, Nola Flight. Solid landing of the stuns and keeping out of your opponent's line of sight. And so eventually, Nola Flight, they did have the cruise missile in their back pocket. Opponents did have a trophy system there, so I think that's why they were hesitant about doing it. They knew that they just had to touch the objective for like 1 second in order to put it onto the next one. And so, yeah, that was the main idea there from Nola Flight. They had some great rotations, especially in the beginning. Opponents almost caught up to them because they were able to flip-flop the pace on them just a little bit. But again, it just looks like Nola Flights are the master of this map so far.
Absolutely, Nola Flight, like I said, picking up the first win. Their performance was fantastic. Element struggled a little bit at the beginning, but they definitely picked it back up more towards half, towards the third quarter that round, but it was a fantastic game nonetheless.
Yeah, it just goes to show the importance of keeping all your people alive. Whenever Nola Flight was down, they were losing so many crucial seconds.
Yes.
But at the end there, especially, one of the major reasons why Element was able to keep themselves in that and get that break was because they had, I think it was Katani. Katani was able to stay alive when all the rest of his teammates were dead, going for the chow, get all the people off the major angles, allow his teammates some way to go back in, and just drag all the attention to him. Hey, I'm on the objective. Look at me. Don't pay attention to my teammates who are rotating to me. And so, yeah, that was a big window back in there for them, but Nola Flight just figured it out at the end of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, next we are going to be going to Hotel. Give me your thoughts on how this is going to be going on, Kenji.
I'm thinking that map 2 is going to be an Element win.
You think so?
I feel like it might be an Element Hotel S&D win.
Now, is that just a little bit of a gut feeling, or is
It's a little bit of a gut feeling. You know, I don't entirely, like I said, know too many players from either team, but just based on performance, I feel like possibly this might be an Element, like I said, S&D.
Honestly, you're not too off base with saying that. I think that that's a great thing to be pointing out, is that Juju, I've seen him win more Search and Destroys than like any other player that I've casted. So yeah, that's not a bad bet to be taking, especially if you're betting up in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Element would not be a bad bet. Don't take my betting advice though, because I mean, Shoxy, he's been a pretty good Search and Destroy player as well. This is a sniper battle that I was talking about in the beginning here, Kenji, between Shoxy and Juju potentially. I've seen them both snipe in different games, and Prophesied, solid AR, and that could be a big difference maker as well. I've been noticing that Nola Flight, their ARs have been just a little bit better than their Element counterparts as well.
Absolutely. Both teams, of course, performance was fantastic. Last map, Shoxy was definitely showing out. That man was putting in major work, especially on P1. A lot of performance, solid performance on P1 on every rotation.
Yeah, and I'm also talking about Aiden and Prophesied here. They were always in positions to capitalize on upon the fact that they just got the full team wipes. They're always in the spots like, okay, we know where these guys are going to spawn, because when the other two spawn positions, we want them to spawn in this one little corner of the map as opposed to all three of them. So yeah, just we're in position to shoot these guys off a spawn, and then they were able to farm quite a lot of kills based off of that. So positioning from them was absolutely key. And so that's something that you can take into the Search and Destroy well and truly.
Absolutely. They were catching spawns consistently, just watching the map, sitting there staring at the map. They were keeping them off point very, very well, holding the spawns that you need to hold, which is definitely a difficult thing, especially in this Call of Duty with the every so often issues that we've had with spawns, but we won't touch on that too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that you hate to acknowledge, but it's something that 100% impacts the game, and it's something that, I mean, you play the game the way that it's made, and Nola Flight, they just played the game a little bit better the way that it was made. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be coming back into this hardpoint Search and Destroy. That's a mouthful, but Hotel Search and Destroy right after this little clip from Grilla. This little clip from Grilla. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do be back at it yet again with Element versus Nola Flight. In case you guys missed the first map, Nola Flight beat them by a very slim margin of only 15 points, and we are about to come in here now with the Hotel Search and Destroy on Hotel Greenberg, aka the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn, one of the most played maps in general. And so, yeah, I'm hoping that it stays for Season 2 and they can work out the old copyright issues.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been an interesting thing to follow. I really do hope that this can stay around. It's a fantastic map. I really do enjoy it, especially on S&D.
Yeah, it's really refreshing to see a map that's not necessarily like attacker or defender sided. It's one that you can do pretty well on both. Some people will be like, but Kamaka, you can easily bypass a lot of the defender's head glitches, but like a lot of the... Yeah, you can also do a lot of things from the defender's side. I think it just requires you to, find a way in order to anticipate that. But how can you anticipate a play going down to B? Shoxy is going to B, takes down one with his own gun and just forcing Teskey to shoot his other teammate, we'll say that. But now, yeah, it's going to be 2-1 in the favor of Nola Flight. And taking down another one, Teskey is in some big trouble.
Absolutely. 3 versus 1. Teskey all alone. Gonna see what he can do here. Hidden little crawl. They're both just crawling towards the door oh so slowly.
I mean, yeah, they know that he's here. So
they absolutely do.
So yeah, there's pretty much nothing he can do. They're just waiting for him to plant. They're waiting for the confirmation that he is here. They're going to give nothing to Teskey, and slowly but surely, time is ticking away. For Teskey, he's going to look to try and isolate one of these guys, does take a fight, and wins it incredibly up against Prof. But yeah, as soon as they get an indication of where he's at, they just go straight on in. They know he's still weak, and so they will be able to finish up that kill quite simply.
Absolutely. It's just a bit of a standoff. That one kill, Teskey, that was solid. Picks it up. He had a little bit of an opportunity, but just holding it down, holding down the cross, is just not going to happen.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't think anybody was going to be expecting Element to try and go for a hit towards the top of the map, the B site, to start things off, because again, you just want to be rushing A. That's the most easy site to be taking on the attacking side. You can bypass the mid-map quite easily and get control of a bedroom. But, I mean, Nola Flight, they came prepared. More prepared than me, and they were ready for their opponent to make that push, and they caught them dead in their tracks on it.
Absolutely. Looks like they're lining up a little bit for B here. Got Juju and Mirage backing off. They definitely hear the footsteps. Trade. No, not going to happen. He's going to pick it up onto Teskey. Nola Flight up 1.
Yep, that's a great kill to be getting to start things off for Nola Flight. It's one of the only players, literally the only player, on Element that has a kill so far. And so, yeah, it's going to be spreading Element very thin across the map. Nola Flight, they can go pretty much anywhere they want. No mid-map pressure, so even if they wanted to go for A, which it appears they are, they don't even have to necessarily dolphin dive. They're going to dolphin dive past Tani. And, ooh, great shots coming in. Shoxy supplying the kill. This is another kill. It did cost Skater, but this should be a bomb plant now in the making.
Absolutely. They've got A. I mean, they've got A absolutely locked down. But yeah, they've got A. I apologize. Got a little bit of a storm, so lagging just a little bit on my end. But yeah, Prof gonna pick one up onto Juju. Nola Flight holding it down.
And Mirage, he does have a little bit of a 1v1 here between him and Aiden, but Aiden, he's just buying his teammates some time to come around behind his opponent and shoot him in the back. This is great teamwork coming out from Nola Flight. And so, yeah, I would be a lot more worried for Element if this wasn't a common thing to be seeing for search and destroy teams that are really good. Yeah, you might lose the first couple of rounds, but Kinji, I'm sure you know this as well as I know this, that in search and destroy, the first couple of rounds are just getting to know you, establishing tendencies that your opponents are trying to do, figuring out where they're going to be holding at, what are they going to be bringing to the table, snipers, no snipers, ARs, no ARs, what positions, what corners you can be holding. And so once they have that information, teams that are good at search and destroy can really exploit that.
I usually chalk up the first 2 rounds to that, just figuring out what each other are going to do, figuring, like you said, out who's running snipers. If there's even a sniper in play, what people are going to be doing. But yeah. Shotzzy gonna be pushing. I mean, Teskey gonna be pushing up, but he's gonna get bodied. Prof's gonna pick him up. Nola Flight up 1 again. Bomb's gonna be down.
Yep, but time is ticking away. Great kill onto Katani. Oh my god, things are just going so quickly. 0 to 100 real quick. It's all onto Juju, who has yet to find a kill yet. No control over the bomb site. He's going to have to make his way back in, trying to find a little angle into Shoxy. Great angle from Juju. Now looking to go for an individual challenge here. Aiden, but he's looking to block him off of going for his next teammate now. Juju going to have to re-peek this in just a second to make sure it's not being defused, but it's going to be Aiden on the other side this time, not letting 2 of his teammates die like that. And so Nola Flight are going to be able to get a solid defuse defended.
Fantastic. It's going to be another round. 3-0 Nola Flight. That was a fantastic angle from Juju. I wasn't expecting that at all, but Aiden figured it out real quick and got the pick. Able to get the defuse off.
Yep, and a lot of these search and destroy teams are very careful of where they plant the bomb just because of that. They know these angles. Definitely. They know where they can hold it from. This comes with a lot of practice. Practicing search and destroy, that sounds like such a foreign concept, but like, yeah, a lot of teams, especially in this year, man, there's a lot of set pieces that you can have in search and destroy, that a lot of angles that do require quite a lot of practice.
Absolutely. I just practice respawn. There's no need for search and destroy, right?
Right.
Kill's gonna come out on the Katani. Gonna be on board. See what we can do here.
Yep, solid kill coming out there, looking to beset upon the guy that's going for the bomb plant here. Great close quarter angle coming out here from Skater, skating on into another kill. They know that Tusky's coming around behind him, so they're looking to bypass him. All three of them going straight through the top of the map. They know exactly where he's at and where he's not. So they're just going to go for an easy take on 2B instead. Tusky's going to be left high and dry, having to go into one of the worst bomb sites for retakes. Especially being 1v3.
Yes, definitely. Nola Flight taking another round. That's going to make it 4-0. Man, Element's got to do something here. They've got to figure something out. Maybe bring out a sniper. Maybe, possibly, might be a good call. Thoughts?
I don't think that would be a bad call at all, actually, because their opponents, they have made some great plays over in towards the A bomb site, which is something that can be a lot more adequately defended with a sniper. Like, if you do try and go for a bypass on that angle, that's probably the one thing that they're worried about is one of their opponents going for a bypass, just dolphin diving is what I mean, across that mid lane area with a sub, and then being a little bit too close for the sniper and him not being ready for it. So that's probably why they're hesitant to do it. But I think it could definitely bring some good things to the table oh my god, just so many crazy kills going left, right, and center.
Yes.
2-for-2 trade, and it's really starting to benefit Nola Flight as they find another one. It's all on Teskey again.
All on Teskey again, but Prof's just going to pick him off. That's going to be another Nola Flight. Element, not able to figure this one out.
Yeah, clearly not. They're taking a little bit of too long time to figure this one out. Slow learners, these guys, and it might be that the game has sort of passed them by as their opponents are one round away from victory. And man, oh man, this might be looking like only potential for victory as a reverse sweep here, Kinji.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I feel like there's got to be a sniper pulled out. It's in this round at least.
You gotta try something else, man.
You gotta try something. You gotta switch something up.
I mean, maybe. I'm curious. I think Juju would probably be the one to pull it out above anyone else, but we'll see. Juju's going to be making his way towards B, which makes me believe he's not going to be having it. Probably expecting Nola Flight to try and go for something crazy on B instead. They've got a lot of great map control. And ooh, in an interesting position here. Skater, Juju's wise to it though, but it's a great bait. And so, Teskey, he's going to be having a huge kill here for himself. Looking for the final player besetting upon him. Here, his teammates in a great angle. Otherwise, does find another one as well. So Skater in a little bit of a world of hurt for trying to find a kill. And Katani looking to get on a similar angle to his teammates so they can take on Skater.
Left down to a 1v2. Bomb's going to be going down on A, though. See what Skater can do. He's going to pick up one of the Katani. Definitely an opportunity for him to capitalize. Looks like he might try to rotate and go up top.
Oh, he's testing.
Oh, maybe
here.
not. Oh my goodness!
The test, ladies and gentlemen, went far away onto the long angle. Had both an AR and a sub in that situation, and so Teskey is going to be getting knocked down once again by Nola Flight in the 1v1 situation. This time, Skater got the ice water in his veins. 6-1, only dying one time that entire map. That's pretty dang impressive. And so, Nola Flight. I mean, it looked close in the hard point, but I think we know who's better in Search and Destroy here, Kenji.
Yeah, Nola Flight gonna pick it up. I was wrong. My guess was wrong. But yeah, Nola Flight gonna pick it up. It's gonna be 2-0. Definitely a quick map.
I think anybody could forgive you for saying that Element could win that one because they, in my opinion, with their repertoire, their rap sheet, they should have done a lot better than 6-0. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I mean, going into this control, we've seen a little bit of the tendencies of these teams, and so going into this control, what are you expecting?
My mental would be chalked after a 6-0. To be completely honest. So I think Nola Flight's just going to pick this one up as well. Unless they can just kind of sit down, reset, figure out what went wrong, figure out what changes need to be made, if any, and just see what we can do going into this control.
I mean, yeah, that's something where you have to definitely have a talk about it afterwards. Not even just like because it's a loss, because if it's a loss by that magnitude, nothing just seems to be going right for Element. Nola seemed to have their number on every single part of the map. Not just in terms of great setups, predicting where their opponents were going to be, but in the gunfights in general. And that's something that really, really is hurtful going into a control where you're going to have to be really dependent on the gunfights. So, yeah, I'm sure they're going to have a little bit of a long talk about that. But one thing I do have to say is that players of these caliber, their mental is not shocked super duper easily. So
yes,
if anyone is going to be
true.
coming back from a situation like this, it's going to be the experienced, the well-learned Juju.
Absolutely. Juju being the featured player, of course, and the former AWL champion in Vanguard. Honestly, I think he is going to be the one that, talks to his team, tells them, hey, pull it together, we got this. And, they could pick up this control, honestly.
I mean, yeah, they could. It just does depend on how they go up against Shoxy, Prof, and Cater. I've seen great clips of these guys on this map in Hardpoint as well as in Control. I'm talking about Shoxy, guys. If you don't follow Shoxy, then go ahead and check out his most recent clip. It's with these guys. They're going ahead up against another really solid team. He's got the Giga Chad song in the background because he's going and doing some Giga Chad things, shooting up some people, going on some massive sprees. And so yeah, I'm expecting that out of him on this map, especially after looking at his Twitter. Prophesied, he's been on point tonight as well as Aiden. The long range angles have been super successful, and so especially if they're able to catch out Element not respecting the attempted B push by sending the majority of their players there, I think that we could be seeing Nola Flight bulldozing them in this map as well.
Absolutely. Going to this control, I'm excited to see how it plays out. I'm excited to see if Juju truly does step up on Hotel.
Yeah, I mean, we will see. Now's the time, Juju, Katati, and Mirage, Teski, all of you guys. Now is the time. It's better late than never. Otherwise, your opponents are going to remain one of the only undefeated teams this season, and you're going to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder going into this next one. But, yeah, nothing is more tilting, nothing is more satisfying than having a reverse sweep. So I'm still not counting it out of here, Kenji.
Absolutely. I'm not counting it out either. I've seen it happen more times than I can even count. But here we go. Collapsing onto B. Let's see what happens. Trades coming out across the board. Mirage going to pick up one. Teski going to pick up a team kill with a nade on accident. It happens.
Yeah, like I said, I just got done saying nothing is more tilting than a reverse sweep. Nothing is more tilting than a team nade. But
yes.
Yeah, Teski's doing a pretty good job making up for that. He's going to be able to get one at the very least going up into his opponent's spawn. Knows that if he goes to B by himself, probably won't be able to get it, so he's trying to be as annoying as possible in the spawns, try and keep them away from A. Because Nola Flight, in the format they're in, I could easily see them going in for a retake on A and justifying it, even though a lot of teams would give it up in this situation.
Absolutely. Mirage just kind of sitting over towards A, playing the hill, playing his point, just getting as many ticks as he can, and Element's just really keeping him off, not letting it happen. Kills coming out across the board. Katani picking up 2, Mirage going to pick up 1 as well. Nola Flight struggling really to get anything towards this A site, but they're just going to give it up, of course, with the time ticking down. Element playing extremely well on this control.
Damn right they are. That's a beautiful transition from them, and they're going to be looking to get a tick on B already. Almost a great transfer from Juju, but Shoxy flying in at literally the perfect moment. Full team wipe, and as I was saying, that was a great rotation. It could have very well been that Element if they were able to hold things off, went on to win it right then and there. But instead, their opponents are going to be able to get rid of the tick, get some great control positions over their opponents. Haha, because we're playing control. But yeah, Aiden is in a great spot. He's going to be spawning them on the complete opposite side of the map. They're dictating their spawns. And so yeah, it's going to be meaning that they're going to have a great idea of where their opponents are coming from. They're going to be in a great position to contest the objective if they do go for it. It's a really great spot to be in for Nola Flight, despite the fact that a lot of them are dying. Yeah,
definitely. There are a lot of kills coming out. Nola Flight's getting dropped pretty often, but Element's got this hold. They've got a good position set up here for B. Hopefully just going to be able to get at least 1 tick before Nola Flight collapses.
And it looks like they are coming around the back. Is going to be Shoxy shooting 1, but still trying to stay alive here is going to be Katani. Still staying down low is going to be alive and keeping Mirage in a little bit of a good position for the moment, but Aiden is going to find a great shot onto him. 1 tick is going to be gone, but lives are starting to waste away here, if I do say so myself. Nola Flight probably not looking to get too overly stuck in their opponent's spawns. Feeling fine to give that away. Maybe have Shoxy go in here and fish for some kills when he can't find any. Just fall back and try and get rid of their opponent's lives, but getting caught out once again, and in goes Element for the kill.
Absolutely. All those really early gunfights sticking down the lives relatively quickly, but it has evened out 9-9. Both have 9 remaining.
What a save.
Oh, what a save. That was a huge save coming in from Nola Flight. Element, 2 ticks towards B side.
Yep, but they're going to completely get rid of it coming up. Aiden winning that fight. Hello? And so, yeah, they're going to be pushing their opponents even further back. Only 1 life left to waste. They're probably going to run out of lives before they run out of time here. And so Nola Flight, they're really up in their business. They really want this kill because they have lives to give away. Juju, that's a kill that you're not going to be getting back. On the other hand, Skater is going to be coming right back up and into this fight. It's looking like this is going to start to escape Element. Slowly but surely, kill coming up in the middle of the map for Teskey. Gonna be really hard to get this one done. Katani getting a solid kill, but him alone cannot do much up against all 4 of these players.
Honestly, Element needed to just slow it down a little bit earlier than when they did. The kills were just coming out so quickly, back and forth between the teams, knocking their lives down so quickly. It looked like they had full control towards B, but just ended up getting slayed out.
Yeah, honestly, with the amount of time remaining, I wouldn't have put it past Katani in order to do something like that. He did manage to fry 1, but unfortunately, Skater was on such a great angle in order to get the trade-out kill, and he had basically nowhere to go. So, yeah, Nola Flight going to be able to shut that one down. Again, we saw some great stuff coming up from Element that against really any other team in this league, I would say, that would have been a deadly blow right from the rip. Instant take on A, wiping your opponents out, transition through the middle of the map, and instant take onto B. That's something that would kill most people. It just goes to show the skill of Nola Flight.
Absolutely, Nola Flight picking up that first one. Element, they played fantastic. They were playing really, really well, especially after the last 2 that we saw. They really, really picked it up there, and I'm excited to see what they can do here.
And we'll see if they can get... Well, in order to beat out their opponents, they would need to get a win. Otherwise, their opponents will be likely to get the final defense. Great shots coming in from Shoxy. And so, it's going to be looking like a start on an A take, but even that Element is not going to be giving away for free, looking to hold both objectives quite equally well.
Absolutely, Nola Flight getting onto site, but no, Skater's going to pick it up onto Katani. Teskey going to pick it up onto Prof. Mirage picking up Skater. Trades coming back and forth. This is that really, really intense, high-paced early game that I was talking about last time. They might need to consider, Nola Flight might need to consider slowing it down kind of early. They're already down almost 10 lives, 26-19.
Yeah, that is a great thing you point out there. The lives are starting to dwindle away quite rapidly. There's not really much to show for it for Nola Flight either. By this time, their opponents had all 5 of their ticks, and they're really struggling to get even 1 here, dude. So, yeah, this might be a little bit of a turn of events here coming in for them. It's not done just yet for Nola Flight, but great picks coming out from Teskey. They're going to have to really dogpile on this objective. They need to get it sooner rather than later. And also a way into the spawn if at all possible. But Element is looking well and truly likely to beat out their opponents on a better attacking round.
Yeah. Nola Flight going to pick up A and just start rotating over towards B. We've got Juju on the flank. He's going to pick up 1. See if he can find a second. Nola Flight, all 3 playing together incredibly well. Skater just going to pick up 1. That was a fantastic shot coming through. Still, lives, looking at them, 21-12, still so many lives. They definitely need to slow it down, play it together, and capitalize on those trades if they can get them.
Yep, it's going to be a little bit hard with all these players spawning in so many different spots. What Nola Flight is waiting for is the 2 players in their spawn to join up on them so they can make a pinch. But Element is doing a really good job of not letting that happen. They're like, yeah, you guys, you can mess around in our base all you want, but we're not going to let you guys make any plays because we're just going to kill the rest of your teammates. And so eventually the rest of the Nola Flight players in their opponent's spawn will have to make a play themselves, which could very well be caught out, but they do catch one of the players in the spawns and get a solid team wipe going on here. In the mid-map, Prof is going to be getting an insane amount of kills, so it's not done just yet here for Nola Flight. They catch the player on their spawn, and oh my god, they might just very well be able to do this.
They might be able to do it indeed. They had an absolute fantastic setup towards B, called it at the right time, collapsed at the right time. But here comes Element, not gonna happen. The tick coming too fast. Nola Flight gonna take this W after it looking not too hot for them. It's gonna make it 2-0.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, they were getting a little bit divided away from each other. Element were doing a great thing in that scenario, but then just... They collapsed. They
collapsed.
Get anything done.
The little setup they had right before they collapsed was fantastic. They had every angle covered. They weren't going to let anything happen. They wanted that point, and they got that point. And they also got, like I said, the 2-0 going into round 3.
Yeah, and they could shut the series down with a 3-0 on the map as well as a 3-0 in the series. That would sting for Element and would definitely make them have to go back to the lab for a little bit. But, yep, Nola Flight, we'll see what they can do. They're definitely respecting the B push here, but Skater, definitely someone you have to worry about over here on A, and they're still holding off their assault just for this guy. They do finally find him, and so there should be an A hit in the making.
Indeed. Teskey gonna pick up one, Juju gonna pick up one, but the trades are coming back from Nola Flight. I think Nola Flight's gonna keep in mind their lives a little bit more with this one, especially after last. It was close, but definitely need to keep it in the back of their mind.
Yep, what they're trying to do is just play a little bit of lives. Get a kill here, get a kill there, and if they can get enough kills, they go in, but if they don't, they just go on in for B. You've already got Skater in a good position over inside a bedroom. His teammates are going to look to set up, but look at this. Juju anticipating the lack of rotation from their teammates towards the A objective, looking to get good control. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't quite work out. But yeah, they're really trying to do all the right things in order to stop Nola Flight from getting a strong setup, because we've seen what happens when they have it.
Indeed. Element gonna pick up A, start rotating back over towards B. That was a fantastic kill coming through from Mirage. Shoxy gonna pick up one, but no, Mirage is gonna pick up Shoxy. Mirage playing absolutely fantastic this game. Going 17-10.
Yep, but can't seem to do much up against two players at once, unfortunately for him. Juju in a really good angle here to keep on mounting these kills high up. What they can really do here, Nola Flight, Element, is they have such good control over their opponent's spawn. They've got two people dead. And so what they can do is try and find Prof and Shoxy, kill them on repeat, whittle down their lives. They've got plenty of time to do that, and then transition that control if they can keep it and do control over the objective. But eventually, you are going to have to find Skater and Aiden, because I just don't anticipate Nola Flight having the same issue that Element had in the previous round, where they had great control and then they just completely lose it for an inexplicable reason.
Bring it back towards the lives, a lot closer this time around. Honestly, from watching Nola Flight, when they're attacking, it seems like they're a lot more just hit hard and hit fast, compared to Element, where it seems like they're setting up quite a bit more. Setting up for more plays quite a bit more.
Ooh, coming in now is going to be Skater, taking down one, and a knife for the second one. It does whip out the gun. Oh, great trade!
Goodness.
So, yeah, Teskey, I thought he was going to kill him too with how menacingly he was looking there, but Element, they are so close. They are so close to getting the first round on their hands. They do kill the guy in the middle of the map, so it's going to have Prof going for a last-minute shout, and they're not even going to do it in time, ladies and gentlemen. So Element, they are going to finally be able to win an attack.
Element picking up 1-2. Nola Flight still, of course, in the lead, and overall in the lead, with it being 2-0. I think that's what Element needed. I think Element needed that little victory, that little mental victory, and hopefully it'll kind of give them a little bit of a mental reset going into this next round, being match point for Nola Flight.
Yeah, they figuratively needed it, and they also literally needed it, because if they did lose that one, they would have lost completely. So, yes, obviously, I know exactly what you're trying to say, though. For the mental, it's pretty good to beat out your opponents on an attack, having things go completely wrong so long, and then have something work out correctly. It just feels so good. It's like something's been taken away from you for so long, and you finally get it back in your hands, and you're like, oh, yes, this is good. And so, yeah, Nola Flight, we'll see if they can go like for like with their opponents.
Absolutely, shots coming in. They're definitely playing. Nola Flight's been just playing pretty well overall. I've been really impressed. Of course, obviously I picked them as my team to win off rip, saying that they wouldn't get the second map, though, which they ended up picking up, playing a lot better than expected. But here we go. On board with Mirage. He's going to pick up one onto Skater, but going to get picked off in the end. Nola Flight sitting on A, going to be getting 2 points so far. Or 2 ticks so far, excuse me.
Yep, and in the meantime, they are looking to control on, trying to see if they can get any control anywhere at all, but really this slow take is going to be still allowing their opponents to get in good spots, because Element, they know the end of the story. They know that they're not going to be able to take their opponents away from A, and so this bait attempt from Nola Flight is going to be falling on deaf ears from Element, so yeah, they're still going to be in the exact same spots they were before, but Katani probably not going to be expecting this guy to be in this corner, so Aiden with a free kill there can rotate through the middle of the map and adjoin to the rest of his teammates who are now trying to get bedroom control.
Absolutely. Element having B locked down relatively well. We've got Mirage and Teskey playing off of each other, with Juju coming in for the flank. He's sneaky. He's going to pick up one, not going to be able to pick up the second. Skater, not letting it happen. Shoxy not letting it happen either. Teskey gonna pick up one.
Yep,
Element playing incredibly well. Oh my goodness. Mirage absolutely fragging out of his mind. Not letting it happen. He's not letting it happen. He knows spawns. Might be able to catch him out.
Skater gonna be close. I don't know if he's gonna be.
Oh my goodness.
5th in a row there for Mirage. People are still up and in their spawn, but Nola Flight, they don't look that much closer to a take on the objective itself. Element, they're playing very close together. If nobody dies, then there's not really anybody for Nola Flight to kill in the spawn. And so, yeah, they are going to be still down in lives, getting a solid kill here. Juju knows exactly where they're at, though, so off spawn, he's going to be able to go right back on in. Skater, close and personal, but Katani frying him completely. And now Aiden alone on the objective. People on all sides of him can't shoot everywhere at once, but his teammates can, and they do a damn good job of helping him out. Taking down that entire setup once again. Juju all alone. What can you do? Can't find anybody, just swinging at thin air. And so Nola Flight, they're looking to catch this one real quick, trying to fly in because the game is on the line right here, right now. Going in, Teskey stops it just barely, and Skater looking to stop him from stopping him. Juju does manage to break the objective once again. So it's not over just yet for Element, but one more take seems to be all it will need from Nola Flight.
So that was an insane fight down to quite literally the last milliseconds towards B, but Element pulled it out last second, was able to get those kills, but here comes the Nola Flight collapse. It's going to get denied mostly by Mirage. The team kill nade going to come in as well. Teskey picking it up. Element playing fantastic, not letting him get towards this B site.
Yeah, Nola Flight, they're completely out of lives, so any more of these deaths will be permanent in the round. There's not really that much to save these lives for anymore, in my opinion, because you're just, you're basically at the end here, so we'll see what can happen. Shoxy going to go for a very cheeky attempt at a back flank here. His opponents are all up in their spawn except for Katani. He's looking for him. He knows exactly where he is now with those early shots, but they don't end up hurting him, as Element are going to be putting this one into map point either way.
Yep, going into a round 5. Element playing incredibly well. They've definitely pulled it together since the last 2 maps, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to take this. But Nola Flight, you know, of course, their lives, they paid a little bit more attention that time. I think it was considered a little bit more. They weren't playing quite as fast as they were originally, but maybe they'll turn that around and just swap back to just playing fast and hitting hard like they were.
Yeah, and something I always love to point out, especially when people are struggling early on, is Mirage. He went from having one of the hardest times on his team in the first 2 maps to now being the one that is the front runner. Anybody. No one has as many kills as this guy, and he is really putting it down for his team, especially in one of those most important situations. Let's not forget, it was him who got the 3-piece there, so Mirage definitely starting to rise to the occasion.
Absolutely, Mirage. As you mentioned, I'm picking up 1. But Nola Flight going to take 2 off of Elements. See if they can get any sort of motion going. Trades coming out across the board.
Oh my god, he's trying to go for the knife. That would have been quite stupendous if it was able to be pulled off, but not quite this time. Juju not alone on the objective, but Teskey, the nade of dreams. That is huge for that assault. And so, yeah, it's going to be denying Nola Flight for just a little bit longer. Teskey will be getting a little bit taken down here, but Mirage should have an easy kill in the middle of the map here because Element, they've just got that mid-map pressure. Nola Flight forced to go for A, and so Skater, he's watching this transition very intently.
Absolutely. Nola Flight's got a fantastic setup towards A. They've got almost every angle you can imagine covered. It's going to pick one up onto Mirage, looking for the second, but nobody's going to be there. Nola Flight, I think they're looking good. They're looking fantastic towards A. Juju sneaking up behind Prof, going to get that kill. Fantastic play.
Fantastic play indeed. Juju, he can still take this away from his opponents, although I think he's more looking for the exit frags than anything else. So yeah, that's the main idea here for Element, is damage control, try and prevent the transition from happening as much as is humanly possible. You've got Teskey in the spawn, make sure they don't come from there, but nobody's watching the middle of the map yet. And so Juju, he's gonna have to be the one that does that, and that actually one little hole in their defense is gonna be the thing that breaks things wide open for them. They're gonna be able to get control over B quite considerably. Still no spawn control over or mid map, but they can flip the map on their opponents. They're all alive. No one's gonna be coming from their own spawn.
Absolutely. Element coming in, collapsing, able to get him off of B. Nola Flight trying to do anything that they can here. Spawns coming in. They're definitely going to slow it down for sure. I see that's like really the only thing that they can do right now. They're getting lives knocked off relatively quickly. They were up by quite a bit, but Element just shaving them off slowly. There goes another one. Teskey picking it up onto Prof. Skater onto Juju.
Yep, Yep, and in the meantime, Aiden is slowly capping control over B. So yeah, people are gonna have to come in and do something about this eventually, but now that he knows that his teammates are not coming to help him, he's gonna go into the spawns. He knows that he's killed some people here as well, so he's looking for those guys. Looking to see if they can whittle away at this life advantage for Element. They are starting to do that in their own spawn here to their credit, but you see Element, you mentioned the pacing, they're trying to pick it up. They're trying to, they sense they have an advantage now. They're trying to push it. They're trying to get their opponent's mental down as much as is humanly possible.
Aiden coming in from behind. Oh, gonna get caught out with that rough spawn from Teskey. Oh, man, you hate to see it. It happens. It happens. Nola Flight all towards mid, though. Gonna see what they can do, but Mirage not gonna be letting that happen with Shoxy. Nola Flight down to 7 lives. 20 seconds on the board.
Yep. Katani, the one person holding things back, is going to be finally taken down. Mirage getting a little bit hit upside the head here as well, and Teskey not managing to connect with anything at all. So Nola Flight at the last second might be able to do this. Shoxy coming in with a solid kill, but even more solid kills coming in from the other end. Skater desperately trying to get control over this objective. He's got a 1v1 with Teskey here. He's the one guy that can stop this, and now Nola Flight coming in from the middle of the map. This is totally possible for them to do. No one is going to be able to stop them. They're now dogpiling this objective. They want it, and they want it now. They want it all, ladies and gentlemen. Teskey coming in, trying to deny it to them, but Aiden and Prof stopping them dead in their tracks. Last one standing. He's going to get into a 2v1, but just too many lives left for Element. They will be able to survive to fight another map.
It's the lives. It's the lives. It's the lives for Nola Flight every single time. It's all right, though. Element picking that up. It's going to be making it a 2-1 overall. Nola Flight, of course, still in the lead. Element played fantastic. They really pulled it together for that map.
Yeah, especially Mirage, a 40 bomb dude. I'm gonna have to check with the league, but I think that might be getting pretty dang close to a record, if not pretty close. Either way, Element, they have no one else to thank besides, I don't know, not even necessarily one person, but they all started really popping off there towards the end. Maybe they just needed the disrespect from Nola Flight in order to get themselves in the proper mood to play the game. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. That was definitely a fantastic map. Didn't go the way that I expected, but nonetheless, Element. Fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, especially after dropping the first 2 rounds like that, they're looking for a reverse sweep on top of a reverse sweep. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to be leaving Hotel just yet. We are still kicking it at the Hotel Motel Holiday Inn in the Hardpoint. So yeah, this is a map, again, that I've seen these guys of Nola Flight do a really good job on. This is one that they're going to be feeling comfortable on. I mean, who isn't with how much this map is played, but especially them. So, yeah, if I had to take a guess, especially based on that first hardpoint, I would still have to say I favor Nola, but I'm not counting out their opponents. I would say it's still more of like a 60-40% chance here I'm giving it Kenji.
I'm definitely going to be favoring Nola, more towards 80% for me personally. Looking at that control, the way that they were playing, like I said, bringing it back to the fast and hard play style. And of course, hardpoint, lives really aren't that much of a concern anymore, obviously, you know? So I think that Nola Flight's going to be able to take this one.
I am favorable towards Nola Flight winning this one as well, but for a little bit different reasons. I'm still taking into account the things that they did in the hardpoint. Yeah, the lack of running out of lives is going to be a great thing as well, but I am just keeping in mind the fact that their opponents, excuse me, Nola Flight were so good with the ARs, so good on the lockdowns and the rotations.
Yes.
We did see, but it was also because Mirage was a little bit lacking in the beginning of the game. We've got Mirage now carrying the team, and so I don't know if I would necessarily give them the edge in the AR department anymore. Juju and Teskey as well are really solid subs, as we've seen on the objective. They've really brought themselves a lot more closer to Shoxy in terms of in-game performance tonight. So that's why I'm bringing it a little bit more closely. I'm still taking what I saw from Nola Flight in terms of good rotational prowess, but I'm also adding in the fact that Mirage and Juju and all these guys are really starting to narrow the gap in terms of their opponents beating them out in the gunfights.
For sure. I'm excited to see how it goes nonetheless. I would have to agree with pretty much everything that you said, honestly. Looking at just the overall team play. Of course, you know, I don't have entirely knowledge of every single player. I don't have the in-depth knowledge that you do. But overall, yes, still, like I said, definitely favoring Nola Flight. But here we go. Into the next map, Hotel Motel Holiday Inn, as you always say.
Yep.
With the hard point.
Keep this now so I can keep saying that.
Yeah, it's just your thing now. It's your catchphrase. Can't let it go.
Definitely not going to. And so, yeah, ladies and and gentlemen, you have the option to vote in the chat as to who you think is going to be winning this one. I really want to see who thinks who is going to be winning. So far, it looks like people are saying Element is coming in here with a comeback, so it looks like they disagree with the both of us.
Wouldn't be the first time the casters are wrong. Wouldn't be. But here we go. Nola Flight collapsing on the point. Already getting the angles locked down. Element going to see what we can do here. Katani picking up one, looking for the second, but Prof not going to let that happen. Mirage with another nade. He's been wicked with those today.
Yep, and what Element is looking to do right now is not necessarily get the hill time here, but they're looking to deny it to their opponent. Because
yes.
As you can see, ooh, this is a great spot for Shoxy. If he can kill this guy, then yes, he can go all the way around the back. Look at that, Skater spawning right behind him. And so now they have the opportunity that they've been looking for with all these pushes. And yes, another kill. Skater and the guys, they're looking to go in for this P2 rotation. They've got it. And all they need to do is just make sure that their opponents don't kill them a little bit too much in these last 10 seconds here. And they're good, Kinji.
Reed Element gonna be getting a little time here. Nola Flight trying to figure out what they can do. Playing for next, getting it locked down early, getting those angles locked down. Element gonna try to come in, gonna try to collapse in, but we've got Shoxy holding on top of that. Nice! Not gonna be. Wow! Shoxy coming in with the 3K. That was huge for Nola Flight. That's gonna give him a fantastic option to get some time here and set up how they want to.
Astonishing stuff coming out from Shoxy, shooting all three of them in the back. That entire force towards P2 is going to be shut down. Aiden's still frying with the AR. People coming his way left, right, and center. But, I mean, yeah, eventually it's just going to be a little bit too much, as it would be for anybody. Element still feeling good about going for this last second shell. They've still got the spawns. They've got them on lockdown. But as you can see, Shoxy, despite having the sub, is going to be the man that is going to be rotating for these spawns. And so, yeah, they are going to be getting up a little bit behind their opponents. I don't think Mirage is necessarily going to be expecting this. Shoxy with the sub will have a little bit of a favorable position coming in here, but it just depends on if he can properly predict one of the 1,000 corners that this guy is chilling in.
Absolutely. Here comes the gunfight. Shoxy going to pick it up onto one. Mirage knows that he's there. The entire team knows that he's there. We're going to see if Nola Flight can capitalize on anything with that.
Yeah, all Shoxy is doing is being a distraction. The threat of him being there is sometimes a little bit better than him actually coming in those doors, because now you see the rest of his teammates are coming in with him, and they're going to shoot all these guys from all these different angles, and you can't possibly react to everything coming in all at once with only you being alive. And now that Nola Flight have the setup, we're going to be seeing Element struggling with the opposite problem.
Absolutely. Gunfights left and right. Nola Flight can be getting on a point. Going to try to do something there, but Tezki going to get shut down. See if Element can do anything to collapse and capitalize and do anything they can here. Katani. Oh, it's not going to be happening. Absolutely dunked on. Prof picking it up on the Katani. Mirage grabbing one on the Aiden.
Dude, I just noticed Juju just got his first kill right now, and so yeah, I said it earlier in the map, and I feel like I caster cursed Element just a little bit. I said that they were drawing the gap a little bit closer in terms of the gunfighting skill, but man, only one of them is positive right now.
Only a single one is, well, now, no, yeah, that's rough. Element definitely struggling early game. I wouldn't be surprised seeing them bring them back, you know? Just sometimes it takes a little bit. Sometimes it takes a little bit. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, you know?
Yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It is not over till it's over. We saw that well and truly on the control, but you definitely need to be doing a little bit more than 1 in 10 in order to beat out Nola Flight, one of the top teams in the league right now. And so, control over the objective well and truly there yet again for Nola Flight, but good break coming in from Element. They get a surround and pound onto their opponents, and the flip out as well. These Nola Flight players spawning in the middle of the map, probably thinking more like, yeah, let's not challenge out for these last 12 seconds. Let's get the setup. We literally spawned on the next hill. So let's make sure that Katani and the guys can't get an easy rotation for it.
All applied up 115 to 60. It's going to be 70. Playing fantastic. Playing incredibly well. Nola Flight's got the setup here for the next points. But no, Element's just going to come in and say, no, they don't. Never mind. I stand entirely corrected. Katani and Tezki picking up 2 onto Shoxy and Aiden.
Yep, not anymore. Nola Flight have the rotation in next. And so, yeah. It's a good potential to get back into this game. Despite being so down bad in the kill department, they are not far behind their opponents at all. They're only 20 seconds off these guys right now, and they're still 30 seconds on this objective. So if they were able to deal with Prof here, if they can still deal with Prof here, then they can still catch their opponents and make a solid game out of this. Prof is starting to get surrounded. Tessie, Katani, great wipeout, and Skater is going to be the last one alive. Teammate's going to be respawning, and as you can see, Mirage already looking to get a rotation to next, and so Element might actually be winning based off of rotations.
Element had a really good collapse there, but Nola Flight just got really fantastic spawns for that point. Element wasn't able to get through and make sure that didn't happen. So it's going to be a gunfight for the last few seconds. Nola Flight's going to grab it, though.
Yeah, 1 second, though. And so, Nola Flight is doing the right thing, though. They challenged out there because it is on the pathway to the next objective spawns anyway. It's one of the best ways to break the current objective. Yeah. So, yeah, that's exactly why they're going in here. But Element keeping control of the middle of the map, looking to collapse on their collapse. I see your flank, and I will raise you one flank. That's basically the idea of how to prevent yourself from getting broken on this objective. So, yeah, Element, with the remaining time, again, can still catch Nola Flight quite easily.
For sure, Element definitely still a little bit down bad in the kill department, but they're doing well. They're keeping the points right around the same. Juju definitely picked it up a little bit. He's now 8 and 15, followed by Mirage, 8 and 13. Still got only one guy positive, though. I'd like to see that turn around here. We'll see what they can do. Nola Flight's got the point, got a little bit of a setup. It's going to be a fight between Juju and Shoxy's going to get the kill.
Yep, Nola Flight is going to get the last 30 seconds of time on this objective, so that means that they're feeling pretty good right now. It also does mean that Element are going to get the P2 spawns by default, but we've seen previously that Nola Flight doesn't necessarily have the biggest of problems whisking those away from them, but Element with the full team wipes is going to be meaning that they should be able to get some good time on the objective, but unfortunately I think they push up a little bit too far and they gift the spawns to Nola Flight, meaning they need a lot of time here.
Absolutely, Element got this pretty well locked down. Nola Flight gonna try to poke in, see what they can do, spot anybody out, get the calls through, but no, Juju Katani not gonna let that happen. Element keeping it locked down. Get those points on the board, 139, 140 to 155. Putting in work. Mirage, Katani, Mirage, they're just fragging out. They're having a fantastic time here on this hill. See what Nola Flight can do.
Yeah, Aiden getting a little bit caught out there, just running right into death. And so, yeah, Nola Flight, they are going to be still set up on the next objective, still 9 seconds away. Great shots going down on Ateski, who almost evaded that. Trophy system and setup coming now as well. That's a really hard shot to be hitting for Prof to his credit. And so that will give a little bit of a way back in here, but they do have to meet the doorman Skater first, and they shake his hand and take him right on out of the equation. Aiden getting taken down now as well. It's all on to Prof as Mirage is looking for the take on this objective, missing a lot of shots, hard shots to be taken though. A lot of people to be firing at, but his teammates are coming into his assistance. But still, it's not going to be enough to break Nola Flight yet.
Can we just take a moment and point out that Prof is 24 and 9 with a minute and 21 on hill. This man is playing incredibly well here.
Yeah, but will it be enough? I mean, Element, despite that, are going to be taking the lead for the first time in the series, despite getting massively outkilled in the beginning. So, yeah, Element, they are going to be just out-rotating their opponents, out-breaking their opponents, and now out-killing their opponents in recent history. A lot of team wipes. Don't let your eyes be deceived by those KDs. Yes. In recent history, Element have been slaughtering Nola Flight.
Absolutely. Gunfight between him and Teski. Teski not going to be happening. Sharksy's going to get that. Nola Flight already on the next point. See if they can get some more time, catch up a little bit, close that oh so very small gap between them and Element.
Yep, and Katani with a big kill on the inside already. Skater not going to be able to do too much up against all these people just flying in at him. So an instantaneous break coming out now from Element. They can hit the 200-point mark off of this. So, yeah, that's a pretty scary margin to be at. That means that you can win off of literally any of the remaining hills in a rotation-heavy team like this. They're literally only winning right now because they're so good at rotating. So, if they can get to this 200-point mark, they can win just by doing what they've been doing already.
Definitely, and I mean, of course, obviously, they're going to get to that 200-point mark, 211 to 179. Nola Flight's got to do something big here. Only person left on point, Katani. 13 seconds left. Nola Flight collapsing. I mean, 5-10 seconds, I guess.
That's big, actually.
But you've got Element already rotating over, but Prof not going to let that happen. Going to get a kill onto one, looking for a few more. Not going to find Katani, though. Katani getting the kill onto Prof. That was huge for them. Element collapse comes in, and they're going to have control.
Oh, but look at this Shoxy trying to be the man, the myth, the legend himself once again. And so, Juju trying to find him behind the concierge desk does. He's going to be a little bit stunned up, and people are going to be off the objective currently. And so, in the meantime, Skater going to be getting on it, trying to force these guys to make their way in, and they are well and truly happy to take that shell any day of the week with his opponent being so weak. And so, Yeah, Nola Flight just at least denying the time to their opponents, but Element, they can afford to do this. As long as they can sucker their opponents and to keep on doing this, they will have the superior rotational angle to the next objective. So all they gotta do is just take as much time as they want off this objective, probably expecting their opponents to peel off this one, so they can get very, very close to winning. All they need is a break on this hill to go into map 5.
Absolutely, and I called it early saying we might go into map 5, and I genuinely hope we do get to see that. Everybody's favorite. 244, 205, ticking down for Element. Element extremely close. Nola Flight's really got to pull it out here. Get that time on the board.
Oh, and the instantaneous break will be meaning that Nola Flight will be having to face Element once again in this map 5 with everything on the line. Was not expecting this.
Absolutely. Element taking the W, making that 2-2. Everybody's favorite of map 5. I'm excited to see how this turns out. Nola Flight's got to, sit down, get a little bit of a regain going. But Element really brought it back, really showing out.
Yeah, even though Nola Flight did go ahead and win that first Search and Destroy 6-0, I did say something earlier that is absolutely true. Nothing is more tilting than a reverse sweep. So yeah, I am a little bit worried that because Element is starting to raise the stakes on him a little bit, then they might be able to do the same thing in Search and Destroy. And when Nola Flight sees the difference in how they're performing in this Search and Destroy as opposed to the last one, it could go pretty ugly. I'm just worried that they'll lose their heads. That's the main thing here for Nola Flight. Clearly, they were a really good Search and Destroy team, and they were massively better than Element in the last Search and Destroy. But again, they just have to remember that. They have to remember that none of these other maps just happened, but you can definitely remember that first Search and Destroy. No other maps happened besides that one. And so all they gotta do is just replicate something even slightly similar to that performance, and they're good.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you guys watching nonetheless. We're going to head to a quick intermission, and we will be right back after this short break.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gorilla Major 1 qualifiers. We are still here with Element versus Nola. Despite Nola looking like they were going to run away with this game, here we are on map number 5, and I am joined by Kinji.
How you doing, man? It's been incredible. Nola Flight picking up the first 2. And then, of course, Element coming back, picking up the last 2 that we've seen. Like you saw in the video, it has been a war, especially on the last 2, and especially on the hard point. It was an absolute battle. But, of course, Element coming back and picking it up.
Yeah, and let's not forget this is going to be the first Game 5 of the season, so a little bit of extra hype around it. We have not seen a game be this close, and we're finally going to be there. So a lot going to be on the shoulders of these people, especially considering that Nola Flight won the first Search and Destroy so handily. But I think that we can definitely say that Element has thrown those first 2 games completely and utterly out of their mind, as they're playing like nothing even happened.
For sure. Here we go. Hopping into this map. Who do you have in the back of your mind winning this?
I don't know. Like I said, nothing is more tilting than a reverse sweep, so I gotta say Juju, the former AWL champion, takes this one at the end of the day.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see how it turns out. S&D.
It's gonna start pretty slow. Nola Flight giving up quite a lot in terms of angles. They just expect their opponents to be shelling out these angles, and they don't want to be so close that they're not able to go for a retake. That's exactly what you want to be doing on the site, but ideally you want to have a kill going into this point if you're Nola Flight.
So Sniper's going to be coming out on this map. I think it's almost a requirement, especially with towards A. I feel like it's definitely a little bit of a nice thing to have around. Tusky going to pick it up on the prof though. Katani finding 1 onto Skater. Brings it to a 1v4 situation. Shoxy gonna try to do anything that he can, but no, he's gonna get picked off. It's gonna be first round over to Element.
Yeah, I think that Nola Flight, they've got a little bit of fear in their hearts up against their opponents here. You normally give up a little bit of ground to your opponents, but not ever really that much. They played with so much respect for Element, even though they 6-0'd them in the last Search and Destroy. I feel like Nola Flight might have a little bit of a thought in their mind that they might not win this map.
The thought you don't want to let sneak into your mind, because it will tear you down and make the game almost impossible. Let's hope that they have a little bit of a positive mindset going into this, though. Nola Flight, let's see what they can do.
We will see. It appears that Aiden's going to try and take a long angle in the middle of the map, see if he can catch anyone lacking over near B. But Teskey taking the fight to his opponents, and so Nola Flight will be able to get the first kill. Not traded out just yet. They tried with that nade, but it's ever so slightly off. You see Element, they are holding the objective a lot more strongly than their opponents. But shots coming down to Katani, and he will be getting caught out. This is why you don't want to be controlling the objective this hardly. So Nola Flight replying in kind with their opponents.
Toxie pulling it out, getting 2 kills that are absolutely important. Juju could be the last one alive for Element, though. See if he can do anything. 1v4. Quite a bit of a difficult situation. Sees Aiden gonna pick it up onto him. Juju, crucial kill. Spots out the second. Looking for the sniper glint. Puts a little fear in your heart whenever you see that.
Yeah, you don't even have to get a kill with it. But, I mean, he will anyways, so yeah. Nola Flight, they are going to be able to win that attacking side pretty handily. Usually this is a map where you struggle to win attacking sides, but that is not clearly going to be the case for both these teams, coming in with completely different ideas of how to defend the site. Nola Flight, they let their opponents go on for the take, and it was just a little bit too wimpy of a defense, whereas Element, they just went in a little bit too strongly on their defense and got caught out in their opponent's home third. And so, yeah, both things are things that I think that are going to be tailored back from both teams until we see one win a defense.
Absolutely. Tied up 1-1. Nola Flight and Element. Katani with the bomb. Sniper towards A on Skater. He's going to spot out Katani's head. He's going to land that shot. Absolute. That's what we call a pixel peek right there. Fantastic shot coming through from Skater, making it a 3v4.
As I always like to say, 1 pixel is enough. And so Nola Flight, playing with just a tad bit more aggression, is going to be able to get a kill there. That's what they need in the first round. And so I think they are starting to lose the fear of their opponents, especially after that most recent round. The thing I've noticed in terms of just getting mental gains for your team, in the NA scene especially, is you can latch onto literally anything. It doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, but you can latch onto literally anything that goes well and say, all right, guys, we're winning this game.
I've done that more times than I care to admit. Any little thing that you can latch onto, give yourself a little glimmer of hope, a little glimpse of hope. It's absolutely crucial. Mirage picking up one onto Skater, though. See what we can do with a 3v3.
Juju. Big position.
Time ticking down.
No, Juju! He pulls out the Denny at the worst time possible. Teskey trying to get right up in their face, though, but doesn't realize that Prof can see him. And now it's going to be all onto Mirage, trying to isolate them into 1v1 fights, but there's just too much pressure from Nola Flight. So they do tailor back their, I don't know, the permissiveness of allowing Element to go onto the site for free. They hold pretty far back, but it's not so far back that they aren't able to win the round.
Absolutely. Nola Flight coming in, picking up another round, making it 2-1 going into round 4.
Yep, an Element now on the defensive side. I'm expecting them to tailor back things just a little bit. Maybe they still keep a guy on the site, showing behind those double doors that lead to the site from the inside of Fortress. So yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea on their part. Something that could be, oh man, they do catch out Teskey though. They knew he came in there the last time, and so Nola Flight is going to be picking up on some of the tendencies of Element, and they're using them against them already here, Kenji.
You've got to. You've got to pick up on them early, and they definitely have, already making it a 4v1. Element's just not going to have an opportunity that round. Nola Flight with a quick sweep. Quick sweep, making it 3-1.
Yep, and did I see correctly that Shoxy put a couple of extra bullets into his opponent here? Oh yes, he
was just making sure. He was making sure. You know, you can never be too sure.
Yeah, especially with Juju. Being Juju the Don himself, you can't ever be too sure that he's not just going to turn back around on you and kill you because you don't put enough bullets into him. So, yeah, Nola Flight. They've won both attacks and defenses now, where Element has not been able to do the same, only winning their first attack, and then nothing really been showing up from them recently. And so, yeah, we'll see if they can win an attack going forward here. Opponent's going to be a little bit more permissive in their opponent's take on the objective here, but it's going to come at the cost of taking quite a lot of damage from these nades, and as soon as he goes in, he gets one shot. Absolutely,
it's down to a 4v3, 4v1. Excuse me, I spoke way too soon. 4 versus 1. Element just knocking it down to just Juju. See if he can do anything here. Shots coming out. Ooh, and he is just able to pick it up onto Skater. They know exactly where he is. They have his location pinpointed, and he is getting locked down on, absolutely collapsed on. Shots coming through from Shoxy, not going to be able to connect.
Oh?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Talk about that one. Holy.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you don't want to give yourself up for an individual challenge up against Juju, because if you do challenge him without having any backup, then it's quite likely that that could just be happening. If Aiden wasn't there, if he just gave him the honorable 1v1 with Shoxy, it's quite likely he would have been able to still make something happen in that round. That's why you always go in as a team. You never try to split up too much. It's what Juju was hoping for, but it's not what he got. So, yeah, what they're going to be hoping for here is, I don't know, really anything going their way here, my friend. The offenses for Nola Flight have been absolutely indomitable after that first one, and so, yeah, this sniper play coming out from Skater, they're already going to find Katani getting aggressive on them once again, but instantly getting punished for their aggression as Skater demolishes Mirage on that push once again.
Just absolute dominance on this map, through and through. Back down to a 1v4. Just not going to be happening. Nola Flight snatching the W, making it a 1-5 match point.
Yeah, and it looks like Element are starting to flounder here a little bit. You can tell by some of their fights that Aiden, even going up and just stabbing him right in the jugular there, that exudes confidence. That's, I'm a lot better than you. There's nothing I can do here in order to lose this game for my team, so I might as well go for the knife and see if I can get away with it. So, yeah, Nola Flight, it might not be as good as their last Search and Destroy by a margin of 1. 6-0s are pretty hard to follow up on, especially up against a team like Element, but, I mean, they still look pretty damn indomitable in this mode.
Absolutely, there's some definite disrespect coming through on that knife. Gonna have Skater here, laying prone, spotting mount with the pixels again. He is a pixel warrior, spotting out their toes, trying to get any shots, stunts coming out left and right. He's not gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, that was some great util overload coming out from Element in order to make sure that this guy can... You see, when he's not stunned, he just hits shots like that. But yes, Shoxy in a great spot. He can really shoot anybody from anywhere here. And in the meantime, going to find Teskey. Shoxy in such a difficult spot to break off of, and He only has to focus on one spot here. Is going to try and go for a very ambitious defuse here. Are they going to be checking it? Oh my god, he gets off of it literally at just maybe one of the worst times, but it's down to a 1v1. Hope of the game onto Katani right now. Shoxy has to go for a defuse. He's going to wait and challenge out at literally the perfect time. Shoxy does kill him, but did just enough Katani to put his teammates into another round.
For sure. That was, the defuse. The shots off of the defuse were absolutely fantastic. But of course, Element going to be taking that win, making it 2-5. Still, of course, match point for Nola Flight.
Yep, we've been there for 2 rounds. This is the second round we've been on match point for Nola Flight. So, I mean, it's totally not out of the realm of possibility that Element are able to come back, especially if Nola Flight goes a little bit too long without the victory. Like I said, with victory staring you in the face for so long, it can get a little bit tilting having it just not be there. You try and force things to go your way and do things that maybe you wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. Shots coming out nicely for Katani, and that's a kill that they're going to take to the bank and instantly back off of. Or not.
Yeah, or not, for sure. It's going to be down 2 left, 1 left on Nola Flight, 1-4. Element just showing dominance. Turned it around. Spotting out Juju. Skater going to get the shot on one wall. Not able to connect with second. Gets a pistol kill. Oh my goodness. Those shots were incredible coming through. Hit marker just kind of ruined it for him though.
Oh, it's a really good thing that all 4 players for Element were alive right there. Otherwise, I think that Skater could have maybe made something happen there.
Absolutely.
Well, probably one of the best snipers in the league just based on this performance right here. I have not seen too many other snipers in this league do something like that. So, yeah, Nola Flight, if they can just keep people alive and keep the stuns off of Skater here, man, then he just lands those shots and they win.
Element not allowing Skater to play the game half the time, just stunning him using everybody util that they can. But of course he's going to be looking for the toes again. Nade's coming out.
Yeah, that stun's going to be putting them off of their nade angle. And oh, there you go. That's what happens when you don't get hits with the stun lock here. And so now it's looking pretty bad. You've got 1 player left alive just floundering, trying to get a kill here desperately. Tesky. Stun coming on in though, and so it's just him and Mirage trying to get things done with a minute left. This might be the final countdown to victory for Nola Flight, but I'm not counting it out just yet. Tesky and Mirage, they're really good players. All they need to do is find a singular pick, and they can justify a way back in.
Absolutely. 4 versus 2. Mirage, Tesky. See what they can do here, but no, it's not going to be happening. Nola Flight snatching up the victory.
Yep, trying, but nothing getting done for Element. They did it a lot better than their last Search and Destroy, but Nola Flight, they are too good at Search and Destroy, and they continue in their undefeated S&D streak, putting one over onto undefeated Element. First map 5 is going to be a victory for Nola Flight, and they will remain undefeated so far here, Kenji.
Absolute